Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 4 of Pro Wrestling Collision. I'm Kevin Huntsberger, joined of course by my colleague, Jerome Cuson from Pro Wrestling Ponderings. Jerome, an exciting night of wrestling action here for us.
You know, we've got a 6-man tag team match as Team Overkill will battle the PWC All-Stars of Farmer Billy Hills, the No Limits champion Joey O'Reilly, and the Heavyweight Champion Heath Hatton.
Also, Shane Rich, the cornerstone of professional wrestling in Southern Illinois, will make his Pro Wrestling Collision in-ring debut.
It's both a debut and an in-ring return for Shane Rich. This is a huge opportunity. I'm very excited to see what happens here tonight. Double main events.
That's right. First, though, let's get to the ring. Pro Wrestling Collision is brought to you by Crossroads Coffee Company in Carterville, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 6 days a week. And already in the ring is Chase King. Now, we found out earlier who his tag team partner was, but he is nowhere to be found as we await their opponents.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 341 pounds, Kyle Sykes, and the main attraction, Casey Jackson!
Look at this! Matt King making his presence known.
Yeah, we've got Chase King, we've got Matt King. They're half-brothers, and they have attacked Jackson and Sykes here to start.
Man, they are brutal here in this opening contest of episode 4 of Pro Wrestling Collision. Folks, thanks for being here.
Yeah, quite the start to episode 4 as the Kings are taking advantage. Matt King grew up in suburban St. Louis. Chase King grew up in urban East St. Louis. So they are half-brothers, and they're taking on sort of a mismatched team. Casey Jackson usually teaming with the Mississippi Madman, and Kyle Sykes more on the singles end of things. And there's an Asai Mutsal dive to the floor by Sykes on Chase King.
Chase King taken down, and we should mention too, Casey Jackson, the main attraction, making his Pro Wrestling Collision debut as well. We've seen him around the region, as you mentioned, teaming up most notably with the Mississippi Madman.
And it's worth mentioning that these two men met in a big No Limits tournament style match last year. And so this is a very odd pairing. And we'll have to see if they can get along because it looks like the Kings, both because they're half-brothers and because they're wearing matching tights, they appear to be getting along.
Absolutely well said there, Jerome. And the crowd here in Carbondale, we're at the Boys and Girls Club of Carbondale. We appreciate that partnership, clearly behind Casey Jackson and his tag team partner here, Kyle Sykes. And Chase King takes Casey down quickly with a headlock here.
Well, you know, last month we saw Chase King. He wasn't wrestling, but he was taunting Kyle Sykes after Sykes lost to Kristen Rose about a month ago, the first episode of Collision. And Chase King, for whatever reason, does not like that Sykes is getting opportunities. Jackson, though, with some arm drags, nice arm drags here, trying to get the crowd into things. He is a big fan favorite here in the area, and it's great to see him here in PWC.
Chase King taking a break, walking around the ring here, trying to think things over. Not exactly sure what's going on.
You know, for Chase King, you know, he made his unofficial debut on the first episode, but now he's got to step in the ring and prove that he deserves any sort of spot here.
Very well said, Jerome. We did see him as part of that Collision Cup tournament, kind of outside taunting Kyle Sykes, who went down in defeat in the first round of the tournament action to Kristen Rose. And King again with that headlock, and KC gets out of it with a head scissors of his own.
Well, the headlock is not going to win you many matches, but it's going to start to wear people down, and I think that's the goal.
Ooh.
And that's intelligent wrestling right there. You know, knew the arm drag was coming based on what happened earlier, so he's able to counter.
And now KC takes control once again. Can't quite tell if he's got that. Well, he's moved out of it. Doesn't matter what he had going on there as he makes the tag now to Kyle Sykes.
And they're both going to focus on the left arm of King, an uppercut there by Sykes.
And clearly, Matt King, the bigger of the King brothers.
Matt King is a very tall individual, so he's going to have a clear advantage over Sykes and Casey Jackson, who are more traditionally associated perhaps with the No Limits division.
Yeah, I would like to see how they're going to fare with him, but right now they're doing a good job of keeping Chase King away from tagging in.
And Matt King, oh, Brandon Toll saw what Matt was about to do, and Matt thought better of it, doesn't want to risk disqualifying himself and maybe getting kicked out of the company.
And look at this, Matt King taking advantage of the referee's back being turned.
Yeah, the referee not as aware that time. And Matt holding onto the tag rope, simulating that he is actually abiding by the rules. It's a forearm, a receipt from what happened a couple minutes ago.
And Casey Jackson quickly gets the tag into Kyle Sykes. And once again, look at that, Kyle Sykes goes over to King, or pardon me, Matt King. This is going to get confusing quick here.
It's a good thing Kenny King isn't in this match. That's what I'm most relieved about. We don't need another King in this match. As Sykes comes away with a roll through and a spinning kick to the back.
Very quick, lightning-like moves by Kyle Sykes.
Chase King rolls out smartly there, maybe to catch his breath. But that could be a dangerous situation. Sykes has shown earlier, likes to dive. Double drop kick by Sykes and Casey Jackson.
And Matt King unofficially in this matchup and maybe thinking twice.
And there's a stinger splash here by Jackson, misses, and Matt King now.
Look at that.
Up he goes.
With ease.
This is an F5 into an RKO. They call this the K2, 1, 2, and the King Half Brothers debut, pick up their first
Ladies
win.
and gentlemen, your winners by pinfall, Chase and Matt King.
A very impressive victory, I would have to say, for the King Half Brothers.
Absolutely. Our first look at them in Pro Wrestling Collision as Matt King stands over the fallen Casey Jackson, and you don't see Casey Jackson in that position very often, so I'm impressed with the King Half Brothers.
Well, you know, Chase King did a lot of talking 6 weeks ago, and he backed it up, so you got to give him credit. You got to give this team credit. Sykes is definitely going to be back. You assume this issue with Chase King is not over because Chase King specifically was taunting Sykes, but they pinned Casey Jackson tonight.
Team Overkill, I know what you're thinking. Tonight you're going against the company Golden Boy, somebody who's been handed everything in this business. You think you're going against a wannabe Power Ranger who does backflips, who does all kinds of fancy little gimmick moves. You think you're going against a farmer who hangs out with pigs all day, who doesn't belong in this business. Let me go ahead and tell you. You're going against a Pro Wrestling Collision Heavyweight Champion. You're going against somebody who defeated 3 men in one of the best tournaments in Southern Illinois, one of the best tournaments in the business. You're going against Joey O'Reilly, the Pro Wrestling Collision No Limit Champion, somebody who himself won a tournament, who himself has defeated a Matt Cage, who has defeated a Zakk Sawyer, who has defeated a Christian Rose. One of the top talents in the wrestling business today. You're going against Farmer Billy Hills, one of the toughest men I know. This man is not just a farmer. This man is one of the best up-and-coming wrestlers I know. Tonight is going to be no easy task. Tonight is going to be the fight of your life. Tonight may be the only night us 3 ever tag together, but it's going to be a night that none of you ever forget.
The Boys and Girls Club saved my life. What I mean by that, growing up in the projects of Newark, New Jersey, a lot of negative temptations, drugs, gangs, a lot of bad things. So, you know, mother and father both worked very hard to support the family. So they would say, go in the Boys and Girls Club, play, fulfill your dream. You want to make it in this NBA thing or NFL thing, Go in there, play with other kids, but do not leave this building until we come pick you up. And that was my daily routine. But in there, I've learned how to become a people person. I've learned how to become a team player. I've learned how to become a nice guy. I've learned how to become a protector. I've learned how to become a leader. And that's all because of the Boys and Girls Club. Boys and Girls Clubs, great futures start here.
For more information on how you can contribute to the Boys and Girls Club, visit bgc-cdale.org.
Got coffee? If not, head to Crossroads Coffee Company in Carterville. But not only do they have a variety of coffee and tea, you can pick up breakfast, lunch, or dinner anytime. That includes the Kevin Huns burger, an 8-ounce Angus burger on a toasted ciabatta bun and topped with homemade chili, pepper jack cheese, waffle fries, and jalapenos. $2 of each burger goes to the American Cancer Society. Check out the new wine and beer selection and be sure to join them for open mic night. Crossroads Coffee Company, located off Route 13 in Carterville. Wrestling fans, if you're looking for extensive coverage of all things professional wrestling, look no further than the Wrestling Press. The Wrestling Press covers the industry in the United States, Europe, and elsewhere across the globe. From reviews and news to commentary and show recaps, the Wrestling Press has all your professional wrestling needs covered. Find them online at thewrestlingpress.com.
If it rocks, it's TAO Rocks. TAO Rock 92.7.